Well, this is my viral update. I believe this is day 37th of my containment. I'm pretty much doing sort of okay. Um, and, golfers are out. They apparently feel unconcerned, and you can see, two people together riding in a cart. It could be dangerous. You know, the weather, um, the climate, I think has an effect on a whole lot of things, including this pandemic. Um, the weather this spring has been a cold spring. It's April 24th, I believe, or 23rd, and it's more like the beginning of March than it is going towards the end of April. The trees and the stuff in normal season would be already, the leaves would be already coming out. They've been in bud, like stuck in bud stage for like a month and a half. It's like 30 at night, high 40s in the day, maybe 50s. You get one day every week, it might hit 60 for an hour, but that's it. It's kind of really cold. And, you know, as research begins on what this virus is doing or where it came from, some reports are reporting that, this is a virus that has never, they said, affected humanity before. At least that's what they come up with now. But, they say the outbreak started in January in China, in Wuhan, China. And other researchers now saying, oh, no. It started way earlier in little pockets. And nobody was aware of it at all because it wasn't affecting a lot of. It was low load and virus load to start with. It's a gradual upbuild, and as the viruses replicate themselves, and so when they first start, there's not that many. The load is low. So older people with heart conditions, respiratory conditions, other pre-existing conditions, and really compromised immune systems would get sick and get pneumonia, and they didn't look behind the pneumonia. They would just say, oh, well, yeah, that person got sick because they caught pneumonia, and nobody picked up on it until it really started replicating itself in January. But it could have started like in pockets beginning at the end of last summer. And the first reported case over here was in, I think, Washington. But there was probably a lot more transmission going on way before. It just wasn't enough till the virus, got to a certain low level. It replicated itself enough so there was a higher load. Then more people started getting affected, and then they started looking behind the symptoms, and it wasn't until January that they found out what it really was. So this could have started way earlier than it was predicted. So that's the latest I heard. People lifting, precautions too early, going to beaches and stuff. You can see in Jacksonville, Florida, Yeah, I still think it's healthcare workers still say it's still very dangerous because the virus load level is high in certain areas. In lower load areas, not that many people are affected, so they think everybody is like them. You know, their demonstrations against precautions and social distancing because they're in low load areas. But those low load areas could very quickly replicate to a high load area if people aren't careful. So that's the latest drill down that I've heard, but you have to dig down a little more for this information because there's so much more useless political and information on top of it all that you can get befuddled. Um, Not that I have the corner on the market of truth. I just have a little bodega on the corner. So, all right. So that's the viral update for today.